Welcome to the Times Lakers show. Brad Turner, Dan Woike. Do you ever just stop, BT, and just marvel at the fact that we cover the NBA's greatest in-season tournament team in the history of this fine league? No team, BT, ever has been more victorious in the in-season tournament than the Lakers, who won the tournament, who won the hearts and the minds of this country, who won, most importantly, $500,000. BT, we were both there. What did you think of Vegas? Did you have a nice time?
I was there for only 2 days and not the 22 you were there spending the LA Times money. I'm glad I went.
You stayed in like Henderson. You were barely in Las Vegas.
I was glad that Bill Plaschke did not want to go, that Dylan Hernandez did not want to go because they were on the Shohei or tiny bandwagon. I love the energy. I love the action. I love the game. I love watching LeBron James and AD do what they did. I love your guy, Austin Reeves. It was a fun time. Even though my seat was really high up there, but
Yeah.
I didn't care.
I think the quarterfinal games were good proof of concept for what this could be like, in terms of, high intensity. I mean, BT, that game in LA felt like a playoff game. So then you take that and you bring it to another market, which, by the way, people haven't had time to get to. That is sort of one of the kind of flaws in the premise, right? If you're a Pacers fan, it's
Right.
not super easy to 3 weeks before Christmas to just jump on a plane and fly to Las Vegas, right? Like, that's, in my household, that would be an ask. That'd be a pretty big ask. Honey, I love Tyrese Halliburton so much. I must leave you and my family for the holidays to fly to Las Vegas to watch potentially only one basketball game. So I think there were some questions about what the environment was going to be like. I think, tickets were a little slow for a stretch. And I think, we hear things like, oh, the league was so happy that the Lakers are going to be there. They fixed it for the Lakers, some version of that. I don't believe that stuff happens. I will tell you the league was happy that the Lakers were there. I mean, Vegas is functionally a home market for the Los Angeles Lakers. Tickets went up in price. They went up in demand, down in scarcity.
Mhm.
So that, I think, really helped. And I wonder what it will be like there, BT, when, it's the Memphis Grizzlies and the Charlotte Hornets playing in the finals in 3 years.
Hey, Dan, when that happens, I may no longer be covering the NBA.
You don't want to
I'm
go?
just
No,
saying.
that's the trip. You get that one.
That's a thing that I am not worried about right now. That is for Adam Silver, the commissioner of the NBA, to worry about. For me,
Well,
I
yeah,
had a great time, and I just like the fact that LeBron James was so into it because he is the league's iconic star. And to have
yeah.
him being that into it, to be so engaged in it, because he wanted to be the first to do something first.
Thursday night, the Lakers play the New Orleans Pelicans, win in advance. Um, to me, the moment of that game, BT, happened in the first quarter, and it's when LeBron James took a charge from Zion Williamson.
Yes.
Um,
And by the
he,
way, then those are two big men, except that Zion is a bigger man trying to fit into his uniform without stretching it all the way completely
I
out to the
wrote,
front.
I wrote that he's shaped like a door frame. Like, that guy is just like, he's massive. But he took that charge, BT, and he popped up and he sprinted down the court to the other corner.
Yes.
And then it was sort of like, all right, like, this dude's ready to play. Like, he is here for this. That game is tight in the first quarter. Lakers even down a little bit. And then LeBron, I think, hit what, three straight threes, right, BT?
Yes. I mean,
And that,
one was like a Steph Curry type three, just
yeah.
past half court.
And he played, BT, I mean, it's an all-time good game. Like it is. I know that sounds crazy. There's tons of hyperbole you can use about LeBron James. But to do what he did in only 22 minutes, I think he finished like a plus 36 or something like
Mhm.
that in those minutes. Had what, 30 points, 8 assists. Nobody in NBA history had ever been plus 36 with 30 and 8 before. I did in less than 23 minutes. I did kick around some other numbers on this BT and did find there were some other like really kind of crazy games where guys were like plus 50 in 20
Mm.
minutes. I think Wally Zerbiak actually holds the record for fewest minutes to be like that high in a plus. But all-time great game. I mean, perfectly orchestrated. And we have both had conversations with sources about this. BT, they all said the same thing. Cleveland LeBron.
It was amazing to see and to watch. And that was one reason why I wanted to go to Vegas because I don't want to take LeBron James for granted and
Yeah.
just say, oh, it was another game. It's another moment for him. No, each of these moments are special and they should be provided that way by us, by the fans, by the media, by his critics.
So if the semis was about LeBron, the
Mhm.
finals was about AD. And an Anthony Davis game where he was the best player on the court, BT.
Yes.
And they jokingly, I would always kind of roll my eyes a little bit when Darvin would call him Wilt Davis last year. It's kind of like, okay, guy, let's slow this down a little bit. I'm not saying this was like a Will Chamberlain game, but like 40-20, the shot blocking, the shot changing, so active in doubling Tyrese Halliburton and taking the ball out of his hands. Um, they are, I mean, this was a defensive masterclass against the best offense in the league. And in the middle of it was Anthony Davis, the most dominant player. A little bit of an uneven game, tons of whistles.
Yes.
But man, what a game from Anthony Davis. Got hurt in that game, came
Mm-hmm.
back, played through it, finished the job. We'll see kind of, what sort of lingering effects are to that. Just you were in the building. What did you think of the finals?
One thing I have to say, one person that does deserves some more credit is Darvin. He put together, I thought, a masterful game plan in a short period of time to make sure they had the right tools, the right strategy to slow that team down. As you said, the Pacers lead the NBA in scoring. Tyrese
And pace.
Halliburton has been incredible, but you did notice him out there. One thing I keep thinking about with AD, he was so good that when he fouled up Miles Turner, Miles decided, I don't want to see him anymore. I'm just going to the locker room. I am sick of Anthony Davis. I don't want to see that man.
He might have
But
gone right to the tables,
so,
BT.
so
To be
I'm out
fair.
of here.
Yeah.
I'm
It's
going to
like,
do something else tonight.
I don't know what this means big picture. Let's just do this. After the break, I'm going to share with you what I think it means most. All right. So stick around. Times Lakers show. I am in Dallas, Texas. BT is in Pasadena, California. Is that all right? I said that? That your city?
That's correct. Where the Rose Bowl will be held pretty soon between
Yes.
Alabama and Michigan.
Yes, he is there. I am here. And you will be there with us after the break. We're back. The Times Lakers show where there was no prize pool for us from the in-season tournament. BT. We might need to talk to Dr. Pat about that. Anyways, Broderick, I teased. I did what we call in the business a tease. Of what I think this means. All right, and I had asked some sort of question to LeBron post game about kind of, what this told them about their championship goals, and I was like, can't skip steps. It's way far away. I don't know that we can have that conversation yet. And he's mostly right. I will tell you, I think privately, the level of defense that they played against Phoenix, against New Orleans, especially, and against Indiana, is enough for them to look at their roster and say, all right, let's slow down a little bit here as we talk into trade season. Like, maybe this could be the group, and I think these are only a handful of games, they're only a handful of wins, but BT defensively, I was talking to an assistant coach on the team before the finals, and there was a word that he used to describe what he thought this defense could be, and it was elite. And we haven't seen that really so far this season in
Right.
big stretches. But when you can stagger Cam Reddish and Jared Vanderbilt, when Torian Prince moves from being the primary perimeter defender to the guy who's covering the second guy, right? When you have a fully engaged LeBron James, you have AD playing the way AD's playing. Now we're getting ready to add Gabe Vincent back into this mix here soon, right? Another defensive minded guy. You have Max Christie, a player who
Yes.
has figured out how he can impact games defensively. His energy is completely where it needs to be. Um, they've got dogs on the defensive end, but like particularly the Reddish, Christie, Vanderbilt,
Yes.
guard 1 through 3. Those will be the guys that you put on Steph, Ja, Jamal Murray, whatever elite guards. Like you're gonna Devin Booker. They were fantastic on Devin Booker. Really physical with him. Those are gonna be those guys. And I'm not sure this team has enough offense, PT, but I think it can guard. And I think that was my biggest takeaway from this in-season tournament was that they have the defensive chops as is today to be good enough.
You said you don't know if they have enough offense. I would say when Anthony Davis is playing at a high level, they do. When he is engaged, I won't say demanding because that's not his personality, but when
Sure.
LeBron James is telling Anthony Davis, take us home. You are the dominant force here. You have to be there. When he's playing that on offense, because his defense, rebounding will always be there. But when he decides, I'm not saying he's going to score 41 a night every single night. Okay, maybe he should. Come on, AD, you can do that. But
I will make this prediction, BT. He will not. That will not happen every
no,
night.
they will not. You're correct. Well, you're pretty smart there.
Thank you. Another takeaway, Potts. We gotta get the sensors ready for this part. All right. Producer Mark. I want to read you guys a quote that I got from D'Angelo Russell. And we need to talk about this because it was maybe the most surprising thing that happened post game to me, which was so early in that game, D'Angelo Russell like really, really went at Bruce Brown. Got 2 fouls on Bruce Brown, went right in his face and went like 2. Like, okay. D'Lo isn't afraid to talk. He's a confident dude, but he is like when they show like the heart machine when someone dies, like that is a flatline dude. Like it is one of the major sort of criticisms when people talk about D'Lo is he doesn't show enough emotion. It's hard to know if he cares. Like because he's so level. His personality is so level, right? He was not level in this game. Like he was hyped up. Here's the quote. Potts, are we ready? Do you got the producers ready? The censor button. He was talking shit all year. Yeah, talking shit all year. For me, it was just showing it with my play. I don't have nothing to say to him. I'm a fan of him, to be honest. I like that part where he just so now he's reestablishing the rules where he's like, I like this dude. I don't know what his issue is. This was just all on the court. Got something to say? Show me on the court. Jokic ain't there next to you today. It's different. BT.
Yes.
You have covered this league long enough to know that this kind of thing is not doesn't this used to happen much more. I guess is my point. In a league where everybody's boys with everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
When I showed you this quote post game, what did you think? You made a face. I think you went like this. You went like,
I went, whoa. But I loved it because, as you said, D'Angelo Russell is not someone that shows a lot of passion. He makes a bunch of threes, he will, but he's kind of a
sure.
flatline guy. He just does his thing and he's still smooth with it. Tries to be maybe too cool with it at
Too
times,
cool. Yes.
But to keep pointing at Bruce Brown and make that comment about Bruce, I said, okay, So there's something there as well that we see in D'Angelo that will get under him, that will make him a little upset and make him play at a higher level, a little bit harder, and to make sure that his team wins, and then let Bruce know that, yeah, we're gonna whoop your ass, Bruce.
Yeah, and the origin that is from the Denver series last year, where Bruce Brown
Yes.
had kind of said, like, we're gonna play D'Lo off the court. He can't guard anybody.
Yeah.
Him off the court. And look, they did it. It was successful. D'Angelo Russell off the bench in game 4 when the Lakers needed to win a game. He didn't play very much. Good. Take that personal. It's personal. Take it personally, D'Angelo Russell. And then, by the way, like, I think, like, even more importantly is he, like, managed that within the game. Like, this was not D'Lo's best game, but he managed that, like, job within the game. He managed that emotion, and he didn't, like, go after Bruce Brown and try to get 50 on him, right? He got him out of the game. 2 quick fouls,
Right.
like, completely took him out of the game. And then, as D'Lo, every time he scored, then he would yell at Bruce Brown on the bench. Like, he would just turn and yell at him. And it was funny at first, like, guys would talk back, and then topped stopped talking back. It was really fun kind of watching that. The league needs more of that stuff. And look, credit to the in-season tournament. We've got a couple more things, BT, from Vegas we want to get to here. I want to talk to you about Austin Reeves. And you wrote a terrific story about him. And then I also want to talk to you about the celebration and the banner that will be hung at Staples Center. Oh, crypto.com arena. Sorry to the Bitcoin folks. I got that wrong. I to be honest, I'm in the pocket of.
Would a banner be hung? Would it be hung or would it be hanging?
I'm gonna just let that just live. I'm not gonna respond to that. So come right back. This is YouTube, guys. You can say whatever you want. Why don't you hang out, people? We'll be right back after this break. Welcome back, tournament people. Hope your hangovers are in just still lingering a little bit. Let's talk about someone who felt hungover before the game, Austin Reeves, who I saw pregame, and he walked past me on the way to the locker room, and I thought he was mad at me for some reason because of how
could you blame him if he was? I mean,
no,
I'm mad at you right now.
Well deserved. It would have been well deserved. He looked awful. And then pregame in the locker room, BT, everybody was listening to Adam Silver. I kind of went to the Laker locker room, and he was eating chicken and rice, and he was like, I mean, it was effort. It was like the rice weighed 30 pounds of grain. Like, he couldn't do, like, it was, and he's like, his eyes are rolling back in his head. And, like, I mean, I don't mean to be dramatic on this stuff, but, like, I told him, I'm like, Austin, do you know how pale you have to look pale? And he kind of, like, laughed a little bit and was like, yeah, I mean, yeah. And it was, as I was walking out, I told him, I was like, if you play well, like, this is like a flu game. And he goes, and then I go, and if you suck, I think it makes sense. And he didn't suck. He played awesome in that first half.
Well, hold on, man. Hold on.
Where you want to start?
You're from Chicago.
The flu game was he was hungover.
This ain't like the flu game, Dan. Stop
That's right.
it. You're a Bulls fan.
You can only deal with the circumstances that are presented to you.
Dan. Don't do that to yourself.
Whatever. He was sick. It wasn't the flu game. It was the RSV game. Whatever you want to call it. All right.
Thank you.
Austin Reeves was not feeling well and had a good game. We'll just call it that. He told us, PT, that in a very Austin manner, he thought about not playing, but his mother would have murdered him.
Yes. That was the best line he had. Your mom is going to kill you if you don't play.
Which I know Austin's mom a little bit. I know Austin's parents, and they are very, like, they're both college basketball players, both crazy competitive people. And when he says things like, I missed a free throw, my mom is probably mad at me, he's not lying. Like, he is telling the truth. And it was nice after the game, his mom was there. while he kind of looked sort of glazed over, ready to just kind of go to bed. You know what I mean? Like he was going to fall asleep. Not on the injury report this week, though, so that's good news. He must be feeling a little better.
He is the Lakers' third guy. He won't admit to it, but I think consistently across the board, he is the number three guy that LeBron and AD even feel that way about.
Yeah, they trust
And
him.
well, we saw that he could be a big game player in the playoffs. You saw when he played for USA Basketball in FIBA, he was one of USA Basketball's top players.
Mhm.
It's been a little slow going for him early in the season, but yes, he can be that guy.
I want to end with this, BT. Let's talk about the two facets of the celebration. When we were there behind the scenes, there's the video of LeBron spraying champagne. I have to tell people that lasted for like 65 seconds.
Right.
And then they went back to the locker room for a happy celebration. Like everybody was in a good mood, but this was not a wild party by any stretch. It was very controlled. I saw Torian Prince drink a Pepsi. It's true. There was a room with champagne, beer.
Mm-hmm.
The lockers were all taped. It was like the locker room was ready to be trashed, right? Basically.
Right.
Um, the Lakers, after they won, were shuffled into said locker room. That is where you see the video of LeBron spraying champagne and doing that stuff. They then left that room pretty quickly to go back to their normal locker room where there was no champagne spraying, just the occasional Michelob Ultra being downed. Let's talk real quickly about the banner. I am not insulted at all by the solution they landed on.
I agree.
I think that fans take this stuff way too seriously as to like what hangs in the rafters, like it is a hallowed space. My general rule on this is like, to me, I remember being a little kid going to a Bulls game and elbowing my dad and being like, "Who's that? Like, tell me about Chet Walker." You know what I mean? Or like you see, like when the people of the teams of the past, like, oh, Jerry Sloan played for the Bulls. Tell me about Jerry Sloan. Like some version of that. I don't know. 15 years from now, BT, if some little kid elbows his dad and says, oh, "Son, let me tell you about the 7 magical games of LeBron James in 2023." But maybe he will, because I don't know that we'll get this LeBron again necessarily. I don't know. It's hard to say. Championship LeBron, put it up there. Um, it's not the same as a retired jersey. It's not the same as a world championship. Um, but it's probably worth being commemorated in some fashion. And I understand that in Los Angeles, it is a championship or bust mentality. That is the driving sort of force in all decisions. But look, if this is the only thing that happens for the Lakers this year, it will be worth remembering. And I think good on them for figuring out a way to not piss off a bunch of people by making it look like it's exactly like the championship banner, for threading the needle in some way. I'm all for it. You know what bothers me? It bothers me that people are bothered.
Damn. Why are you bothered that other people are being bothered?
Well,
Because
because I'm an
I
unstable.
I am not bothered by those who are bothered by being bothered.
Well,
You know what I'm saying?
that's the wine and the cigars
Man,
for you.
so exactly then. Just hey, let it happen. Let it be.
We have a special holiday edition of the show next week. We
Yeah.
will return with times like shows after that. I want to ask you, at the Turner household, there's one holiday song, or I'll give you 3 holiday songs that play on repeat. What are those 3
Oh.
songs, Turner household?
Well, my little 4-year-old nephew is just coming to town with his sister. So Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, that's for sure will be playing because he loved that song. Man, you're making me really think on that, Dan, because I don't have kids. You have kids.
No, you don't have to
So,
listen to the kids' songs. There are adult Christmas songs.
yeah. Oh, Mariah Carey.
Yeah, I
The
mean,
Her Christmas song. Which one is it? No, yeah, yeah.
all I
And
want for Christmas is
how
you.
about this? And there's another one by Nat King Cole. Old school. One of the most beautiful voices ever known to mankind.
That song is on my list. If you're referring to the Christmas song where it's
Yes,
chestnuts roasting on an open fire, that
that
one.
is that is that is that is the one, Dan. It's not nothing like that, but that is the one.
All right, BT. I'm disappointed in your answers. There's a bunch out there. I'd
Okay.
like to imagine just a young
Look,
Broderick
look.
Turner.
Give me your what are your three, Dan?
Okay, so that would have been on mine for sure. The Nat King Cole, the Christmas song.
Okay.
Um, I really like Darlene Love's "Baby Please Come Home." Like, I
Okay.
really like that song. I think that's just like an awesome song. And then I will go with. I'm looking right now here on my Christmas playlist.
See, so you're cheating. You're
Well,
looking at a
I
list.
have the information in front of me. I like to know this is not cheating. I will go with "Fairy Tale in New York" by the Pogues.
Merry Christmas, Dan.
Happy holidays, Brad Turner. Let's not get canceled. All right, I'll talk to you soon.